guys, welcome to the evening show. This is Evening Snow. My YouTube channel is this is actually my first YouTube live, so y'all have to bear with me. The camera is not doing a fantastic job. The quality of the camera is super weak. But here's the thing, y'all. Welcome to my channel. This is my fourth video on my YouTube channel. So if y'all haven't checked out my other YouTube videos, please go check them out. But not now. Right now, we're gonna talk about how to plan a wedding. Last week I uploaded a video about how to plan a wedding part 1, and my plan was to be able to just videotape like one long YouTube video and then upload it, but my camera had other ideas. It actually cut me off and I was not able to finish or was not able to have it into one long video. So what I ended up doing was research on a bunch of things on how to connect videos and all that stuff. Long story short, I decided to give this a try. Like I said, the quality of the video is pretty weak. My computer is 8 years old, so I'm trying to give it a break. But I wanted to kind of cover again what I talked about last week about how to plan a wedding, and this video was actually suggested by a friend, by my dear friend Erica. So she actually asked me to do a video on this, and I want to clarify, I am not a wedding planner by any means. I have no experience. I mean, I have no knowledge other than experience on how to plan a wedding. I have gotten married twice to the same man. No judgment. We're still married. But wanted to talk about the things that I've learned, the things that I think are important and whatnot. So, number one, y'all. Number one, I think that it is very important that you are marrying the right person. Okay? I think it's very important that you know that you are compatible spiritually, physically, emotionally, and mentally. What I mean by that is, marry an awesome person, y'all. Don't marry somebody who's boring and who's just mediocre. Like, if you are awesome, marry somebody who's awesome like you. So that way, y'all can have fun doing life together. And what I mean spiritually is everybody has a belief system. Whether you're a Christian or you're an atheist or you're a pastor or you're just a casual person who doesn't believe in killing things, but other than that, you don't have any other religion belief system. Everybody has a belief system is what I'm trying to say. So it's very important that you are marrying somebody with the same mindset. I think that's very important. Attraction, it's important too. It's not the most important thing, but attraction is important. I'm going to try and let's see if it can get any lighter, because my video, like, honestly, this is very bad bad quality. So just giving this a try. Let's see, maybe we can. There you go. That's much better. Okay. Actually, let's try this. Nope. Alright, we're gonna give this a try. So, attraction is important, but it is not the most important thing. But honestly, like, if you don't find somebody hot, you might not want to marry them. I have a list of things that I wrote, so I thought this is kind of fun, actually. I wonder how many people are watching this. Let's see. I don't know. Anyways, and number 2, it is important to have a budget. What I mean by that is, planning a wedding is expensive. It doesn't matter if you just want to have, if you want to have a casual wedding, go to the court and no celebration or anything, that's not going to be expensive. But most weddings are expensive, and most people go to debt planning their wedding or after their wedding. And what I like to emphasize, I'm not trying to sound like Dave Ramsey or anything, but what I like to emphasize is that the wedding is amazing. It's awesome. The wedding day is incredible. But what's important is the marriage. Yeah, have an amazing time. Have a party, celebrate, go all out, but be within your budget, because if you end up going in debt for having a wedding that you can't afford, guess what? The wedding lasts one day, but the marriage is what lasts, and you're going to end up spending much time trying to pay that wedding debt that you got yourself into. In other words, I think it's very important for both of y'all to sit down and have a budget that you think is appropriate. Be willing to compromise because everybody's different, and most likely guys are the ones that are. I mean, girls are the ones that really involve themselves in the wedding because we dream about this beautiful day since we were kids. So, but when it's all said and done, the marriage is what's important. The wedding day is just one day. So be very wise in considering and have a budget that you can follow through. Number three, I am man. Okay, I am very hungry. So that was just weird, but it's hurting my stomach right now. I've just been like sitting on this computer trying to figure out how to do this thing, and I was super nervous because it's different going live versus like just doing a YouTube video and then like trimming it and saying like, oh, I don't want that, or if you mess up you can always trim it, but with people watching you it's kind of scary anyways. And so my stomach decided to uh, be starving right now. Anyways, number three, I want to talk about numbers of guests. I think it's important. Okay, these things are not, I don't have them in order of importance. These are things that just came to my mind. So one, marry the right person. We're talking about, if anybody's joining this, we're talking about how to plan a wedding, things that I have learned from planning my wedding. I am so blessed to have amazing, incredible family members that have been an incredible just made this journey an incredible journey because of how much they've helped. My mother-in-law helped us with so much. My just everybody in my family. I was very lucky that we were able to have a very wonderful experience. But these are things that I learned that are important to me as a person, and things that have been important to us, and things that I know that made the experience much more enjoyable. So, marry the right person, have a budget in mind, and number of guests. I think it's important to have a number of guests in mind. And that's because if before you go and book a venue, it's important that you know how many people you want to invite. Let's say you're thinking about having about 100 and maybe 150 people to your wedding, and if you're looking at a venue that's the capacity is at least 300, guess what? You're going to be paying way more for that space. So know the number of people that you want to the wedding. You want to come to the wedding, and go from that, and that would lead you to number four, book a venue. I want to say something that's kind of funny with me and my wedding is that Derek is the type of person who wants to invite everybody in the world. And I was like, well, I got 80 people. And he's like, we got 200 people, and we're still trying to get some more people to come in. So that was kind of a funny but complicated situation. So it's important to have a number and kind of something that you can agree on. And the number 4 would be book the venue. And number 5, book a photographer. I gotta say, wedding photographers are crazy expensive. Oh my gosh. When we were planning our first wedding, I literally called probably 20 photographers. Okay, exaggerating. But still, like, every one of them were like over thousands. I mean, over a couple $1,000s just for a couple hours of me wanting them to take pictures. And my family, I have a big family, so I wanted to make sure that we got some decent photos. And I'm a photographer, I love photos, so that was very important to me. But it was so outside of our budget, and it's like it's not worth it in so many ways because some photographers aren't even that good. I mean, I'm a photographer, but I am not like a professional photographer where I'm just going to be like, oh, I am qualified to do, a huge wedding. I don't think I am. I think I have a lot of learning to do, but I think a lot of the photographers, their prices, I know they can afford to ask for that much because people are paying that much, but it was very very what's the word? It was very discouraging for me because I really wanted a professional photographer and I was not able to afford it. But luckily, I have a friend who's a photographer. She's an amazing photographer. She does weddings and she does pretty much everything. And she was able to. She was actually, her husband married us, and she was able to connect me with other photographers because we lived out of state, and we so she was able to connect me with someone that was affordable and worked with my budget. And so that being said, if photos are important to you, have them. Like don't settle, but also, don't compromise your budget. And if you're thinking, Eve, like, it's so hard to find a professional photographer that's cheap, it is, but it's not impossible, because even if it's beginner photographers, I'm not picking my nose. Oh my gosh, it looked like I was picking my nose for a second. I was touchy. Okay. Even if even if it, even if it is hard to find a wedding, a cheap or a reasonable price wedding photographers, it is not impossible. I don't care if they're beginner photographers. Hire them. They need the experience. They need it on their pages anyways, and you need the price. So let it, like, support small businesses. Like, don't compromise your budget is what I'm trying to say. And even if they have a decent camera, if they can take the pictures, you can edit them. You can pay somebody to edit them, but you do not need to pay over thousands of dollars for mediocre pictures outside of your budget is what I'm trying to say. Okay. And number 6, I think that's number 6, is catering. Like I said, these are not in order of importance. This is just stuff that came to my mind. It's important to know what kind of food you want for your wedding, and if it's going to be the venue catering it, or if it's going to be a third party, or if you're just going to go crazy and grab sandwiches and serve them yourself. It's important to know that and to stick with your budget. DJ, do you want to have music that's just shuffle playing from your iPhone, or do you want to have a real person who's going to be like, having fun with y'all? And DJs can be expensive too. We were lucky. My mother-in-law found a really good DJ for us, so we were lucky with that. Otherwise, they're very expensive as well. Invitation designs. These things can be kind of expensive. I was kind of getting a little over. I was kind of getting overly excited, and I was about to actually settle for semi-expensive wedding designs. And then Derek, my husband, he was like, no, there's no way we're gonna do that. Like, there's definitely cheaper ones. And I had already searched, but not enough. But he kind of encouraged me and challenged me to look for better ones. And it turned out we were able to save a couple $100 going another direction than what I was thinking. So, there's always another way. There's always a better way. So invitation design, sometimes nowadays a lot of things are digital. So if you want to go with that, that's awesome. RSVPs can be done digitally. I know we did with some of ours. We did the Knot, the website, and that was incredible because it's convenient. That way people don't have to go to the mailbox, and the RSVPs, make sure it gets there on time. And though, what's funny, people can be lazy still. Like, we still had people that were taking forever to RSVP. So either ways, it can be a challenge for some people. Number 9, find a dress. The dress. Say yes to the dress. Okay. Number 9, or say yes to the tux. Whatever it is that you want to wear for him or for yourself, keep looking for a price that you can afford. For me, with my wedding, so basically what we did was, my mom, she surprised me one morning, and my sisters made me breakfast, and they put this little cute tiara on me and on my head, and then it was a fun day. We just went out, and that was the very first day we went wedding shopping. And luckily, honestly, probably, I don't even know. I was very lucky. The first let's see, I think it was either the first or second dress like stores that we went to, and literally like the third dress that I tried, I loved it. It was beautiful and it was on sale. Like super super deal, like, so that was just, I was like, this is it. So I was able to get at least, like, it was, I think, a 2000, over $1,000 dress that I was able to get, honestly, for like $500, just because they were clearing things out. I'm only gonna wear the dress one day, and I want it to be perfect. I want it to, of course, I want it to be beautiful. I'm not gonna go to Savers and buy some stupid dress. I'm not saying that you have to, like, you know, not wear something that you should wear, something that you want. You should look hot. It's your wedding day. You should feel like a princess. But what I'm saying is that um, it is possible to find a good deal. Oh my gosh. It is. It is possible. So find a good deal, buy the dress, buy the tux. If you have, if you're going to have a big wedding, depending on how many bridesmaids and groomsmen you're going to have, also, there's places that have deals. If you, let's say, if the bride buys a dress here, then they'll cover some of the bride's maids or dresses. Basically, look for a good deal, is what I'm trying to say. I know I'm sounding like Dave Ramsey's daughter right now, but number 10 is wedding rings. I had no idea. Like, I totally forgot. Like, you actually have to look for wedding rings for, like, obviously Derek proposed for, and he had a ring, and then my ring came with a wedding band as well. But I completely forgot that we actually have to get Derek a ring, and so that was something that was kind of like, an experience for us. And but a lot of people have different ideas, and whatever works for you, but you need to find a ring for your man, is what I'm trying to say. Number 12 is, this is important. It's important for me because with my faith, I'm a believer. So I think for me, I'm talking about myself. For me, it's important to be ready when you're getting into a marriage, because like I said, the wedding day is just one day. Marriage is not a business contract. It's a covenant that you make. So whatever that you can do to make it a better, to make it a good experience, to make it a lasting experience, I think you should do everything that you can. So one of those things being premarital counseling. Premarital counseling is important because you think that you know everything about a person, and you don't, because premarital counseling kind of opens your eyes to the things that you thought you knew about a person, and then all these things, like, you didn't think, because you're so in love and you're kind of blinded to some of those things. And when you go through a premarital counseling, it kind of gives you perspective, things that you wouldn't have necessarily thought to discuss. So I would suggest that. Gifts for the wedding party. Whatever you want to do, but keep that on your budget. Most people give gifts to their bridesmaids or maid of honor, or and the guys do the same thing for their wedding parties. And I think I skipped number 11. Find a pastor. Obviously, someone who can marry you, someone you look up to, you trust, and you respect, and you see good fruits in their life, and you see that they're walking out what you want to be walking out. So find somebody that you think is cool, basically, and can invest into your marriage long term. Number 14 is, if you are not an organized, like, if you are a person who is not, like, I don't know what the word is, like, with Derek and I, a lot of things, okay, here's the thing. We're both kind of indecisive. He is way more indecisive than me. some things I don't think I'm indecisive. I think I'm spontaneous. If he says to me, "Let's go to Paris now," I would say yes. Like, I don't really calculate the risk. Like, I don't make bad decisions, but he calculates risk so much more than I do, to another huge level. So if you are not the type of person, and that was kind of frustrating, I think, for some people while we were planning our wedding, because some people were like, "What are we doing?" And we're like, and so, basically, if you are if you are on the indecisive um, side of your personality, and you're not, organized, or your thoughts are not organized, or you're not good at like checking off the list, and you're trying to plan a wedding, maybe think about hiring a wedding planner, because that's what they're here for. They're good at it, and they'll help you. If this is not your thing, I mean, find somebody who's not going to boss you around and take over, like still respects you, that this is your thing and this is your wedding day, but also knows better what needs to get done than you. Let them do it. No shame in that. Number 16 is talk about your honeymoon destinations. Where do you want to go? Do you want to go out of state? Do you want to go out of the country? Do you just want to go to a different city, or do you just not want to do it at all? Maybe till 5 years later. Some people do. Whatever works for you. But those are things that you got to consider, and it's going to affect your, transportation. Are you going to fly? Is that going to affect financially? Who's going to drive you? Or, all of those things, I think, are basically, honestly, y'all, everything, when it comes down to it, if you're marrying the person that you are meant to be with, and you are in love with, and you're starting your life, it's going to be an amazing experience either ways. If you're, it's not going to be perfect, but if you're on the same page about a lot of things, it's going to be a smooth transition. And having a budget that you agree on, excuse me, having a budget that you agree on, and being able to let that kind of, all of these things and so many more things that I didn't cover are, I'm sure, I mean, this is only 15 things. I know there's way more things, because there was a book that was like 100 things you should know before planning a wedding. So I know there's a lot of things I didn't cover, but I think when it comes down to it, excuse me, when it comes down to it, I think if you have an understanding of what you want, and you have an understanding of what the other person wants, and you agree, and you respect both of your desires, and you agree on what you want, everything is gonna flow perfectly. Again, I'm not picking my, oh my gosh, Eve. Okay. So, if key takeaways, got my cute mug. I would say the key, like if I could sum this up, I would say, one, nobody builds a house on sand. If you build a house, you want it to last, and you want it to be something strong, something meaningful, and something that's going to have a legacy and be a long term. If you're getting married, make sure your foundation is strong. Make sure that you are marrying a pretty cool person, is what I'm trying to say, and have the same strong foundation. Have mutual respect. I'm not a marriage counselor. I am not a wedding planner. These are things that are close to my heart, things that I'm passionate about, and I'm talking from the little experience that I have, and the just as I go, what I've learned so far. So all I'm saying is, I know that a lot of people's marriage is kind of shaky, or things aren't, as wonderful as they want them to be, and finance has a lot to do with that. And I know that not feeling respect towards each other, not being respected, I know that has a lot to do with it. And not having the same foundation. So obviously, if you're trying to get married, in the case of my friend, she's already married and she just wants to have a wedding because they never had a wedding. But if you're watching this video and you're planning on getting married, obviously you think the person you're marrying is cool. If you don't think, please don't marry them. But when it comes to wedding planning, I think that's all I could come up with, you guys. So thanks for watching. I don't know who is watching or how many people will be watching this, but tell a friend to tell a friend. This is the evening show with Evening Snow, y'all. If you haven't subscribed, what you waiting for? And hit that notification bell. And yeah, till next time. Peace out. I know that I have a friend who also commented on my video and asked me to do a YouTube video on learning different languages. I'm still learning. Now I've gotten used to saying y'all. I used to think like it was so gross. Like I used to be like, I'm gonna be saying you guys for the rest of my life. I'm not gonna be saying y'all. That is disgusting. And now I can't stop it. I am officially Southern. But you guys, thank you so much again for watching. And comment below for videos like this. Like I said, till next time, if I can find out how to stop this. There's so many new things here. Okay. Alright. Peace out, guys. Yes, I want to end my stream. They just asked me.